It's Heather Gillespie, Coco GoPro Solo's very own. So I wanted to jump on today and give you guys some information that I've always spoken about. And I've always given this advice free of cost to anyone who wants it. Basically, we have several options when we're in the influencer category. Whether you are a micro influencer, meaning you have under 1,000 followers, an influencer with 1,000 to 100,000 followers, or an influencer with 100,000 or more, your followers and your audience are your, best friends. You want to produce content that brought them to your page when everything you had to offer was totally free, right? Now, I just got done shooting some content about this. When you're speaking with regards to remote work, I'm about to have a baby and I'm an influencer, right? I've been working as an influencer. I have this account. I have the coco.chanel.ysl account. I have mercifulstorm.com. I have one Heather GEE. I have HLG Forever _ I have 8,000 or 9,000 followers on HLG Forever _ I have 17,000 followers on one Heather GEE. I have 12,000 followers on coco.chanel.ysl, and I have 5,000 or 6,000 followers on this account. I also have smaller accounts with 400 to 500 followers, like Do You Doll and The Strongest Doll, which are my fitness lines that I have not worked on, because I'm not being permitted to do so. But this is the model, and so I'm sharing it with you. All of these accounts are fabulous for influencers because as an influencer, you're sharing whatever you do that relates you to your niche and your topic. So if your niche and your topic are pet supplies or baby supplies or fashion, if it's pet supplies, you're going to show yourself with your pets, right? And using and doing things that you and your pets use. If it's fashion, you're going to show yourself trying on different clothing. If it's, what was the other one I said? Baby, you're going to show yourself with things that work as you parent your children or your babies, right? Now, when we're talking about monetizing from a social media perspective, you're not just going to go for money from ads or money from viewers or money from clicks. You're mainly going to focus on earning your income independently of your platform and let your platform approach you. And the way you're going to do that is by literally living your daily life, going on Alibaba.com, finding products comparable to the ones we know and love, ordering samples of them for mostly free, and then endorsing them and running ads on your social media. And by ads, you could be doing paid ads, and you could also be doing just unpaid talk about it in your daily life ads. If you download Alibaba Express, I'm not sure. You have to do your research and figure out who your best vendors are. Alibaba and Alibaba Express are the only ones I've ever heard of anyone working with and having luck with. And when you're purchasing these, this inventories of this inventories of supplies, whatever your niche is about, you're also doing people a huge favor in bringing them information about this product. So you're going to want to order a bunch of samples. Go on to Alibaba after you've downloaded the account. If you are a fitness influencer, we'll just use that for now. You go to Alibaba and type in resistance bands. Now, if you can go ahead and create a resistance bands workout routine, contact 5 or 10 of these vendors selling resistance bands. Write them an email. The sample email is available for free on Google. If you simply Google sample dropship email, you'll find a whole bunch of examples. You're going to want to go onto Alibaba, find the direct contact. It's usually on WhatsApp, but you can also do it through, most of the time, an encrypted email or regular email platform. If you're concerned about it for purposes of hacking or anything like that, you could use an encrypted. If not, you could even and you drop ship. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to hold any inventory with you. And there's a lot of lessons and, coaching on this topic available out there for cheap or even free if you YouTube it. So I'm not going to waste your time recreating the wheel here, but that's kind of been my plan this entire time. At the beginning of this whole debacle, you guys know, 4 years ago, my life was changed in a major way when I was thrown out of my only apartment that I shared with my 3 children and my, at that time, husband, Dylan Smith. Him and I appeared in a reality show together. It was only 5 or 6 episodes on the WE network. I don't even want to get into the details of that, but it was a major mistake. In doing so, I opened myself to a level of competition that I did not know existed, where people are willing to go through very unethical and immoral channels to degrade, humiliate, and earn money off of the exploitation of others. In agreeing to participate, I literally signed a contract that was marked unconscionable, and that a judge said would not be able to be upheld in court because it had stipulations and clauses that if I literally committed suicide based off of whatever false narrative the show was planning to air, that not only would I have no way to sue if I attempted or hurt myself, but that my children and family that survived me would have no way to sue the network. So I did get hit with a bunch of false narratives. I still to this day get a bunch of restricted phone calls and voicemails. I've been stalked in person. There have been a plethora of different victimizations that have taken place as a result of doing that show. And it's all been reported to law enforcement. But according to the contract I signed in participation, they had premeditation, and they knew that they were going to create a narrative that was going to be incredibly damaging to my reputation as well as my likeness, and that was their plan. They had that plan prior to the show airing, and if they didn't, then they would not have had that stipulation in the contract. And that's the way a lot of reality TV works, and you don't hear about that from the perspective of the viewer. You really don't know anything about that. So that's kind of what kind of threw me in the little situation I'm in right now. I had a lease in hand, and I was legally supposed to be where I was. But for some weird reason, I was thrown out, and my children had to go live with their father, and I have been struggling ever since, mostly emotionally, because my primary job has always been to be a mother before any and everything else. But in addition to that, I'm intelligent, and I'm capable, and I'm worthy of a beautiful life, and I'm capable of providing one for my children and I. Pending these nefarious and malicious characters step aside, or federal authorities or local authorities find out how I can protect myself and relay that information to me, because so far I haven't been able to find someone technologically intelligent enough, with enough or high enough security clearance to make it stop. I haven't even had so much as one genuine call back from law enforcement with all the reports that I've made, and there have been thousands. If you go to my personal blog, coco.chanel.ysl, you can literally look up all of the times that I've called the federal law enforcement as well as local on camera, and there have been no resolutions. So February 15th is my due date, and February 15th it will have been 1 full year that I have been being unlawfully held in a tent, forced to use the restroom into a sawed-off water bottle, but that doesn't stop me. I continue writing, I continue curating, I continue modeling, I continue raising my family to the best of my ability, taking advantage of whatever technological features I can, like FaceTime video and audio, like Google Voice, phone numbers for when I don't have money to pay a phone bill. I'm so grateful that I have gone through this experience in the year 2024, you guys. I cannot imagine what those of us who have been oppressed in the past have had to go through in the days before internet, in the days before technological advancement. Could not even imagine, could not even fathom going through something like this without having FaceTime video as an option to see my children. In all honesty, that probably would have worked at causing me to commit suicide. I'm a full-time mother and have been since the day of my children's births, respectively. No one has really done it for me. On my ex's side, they've had a very strong family support. They're both Hispanic. And Hispanic people have very strong cultural ties, not only because they want to be that way, but because we have forced them to be that way. We give a lot of the, undocumented and documented citizens in this country less pay than they are worth. And we take advantage sometimes of and exploit the fact that they have a hard time finding work. For that reason, a lot of the immigrants live together. Multiple generations are all living together, functioning together, and living as a family into their older ages and older years. My family is American, and we're not like that. My family was like, okay, you can get your own place now. When I was nearly 14 or 15 years old, I went through hell as a teenager, and no one ever invited me back, So it's just a different situation. I've always gone to my families for holidays, but that's kind of where it ends. It's like, all right, glad to see you. We'll see you at the next holiday. It's never been like that with the Hispanic side. So I had support in the way that the 3 days a week my children were with their fathers, I knew they were well taken care of by their fathers, mothers, and fathers, and their fathers. But it's never been the same. It's never been a situation of like how it was with me being alone with 3 children, doing it all by myself, financially, emotionally, mentally, everything, cooking dinner, cleaning, going to the laundromat. And for that reason, I'm very grateful, that I have this side of the family as well as this cultural experience. But it's just been very, very difficult that I have not received the restitution and restoration that this case deserves. To this day, I am now outside in a tent, still working on all of my production, still working on the novel, the coffee table book, as well as the feature films. And I've written a lot of theses. I've also been doing a lot of my own clinical research with regards to different studies and different widely accepted belief systems that we hold here in the United States, as well as around the world. But I like to focus mainly on the United States because I'm a citizen here. I was born here. I've been working my whole life and paying taxes here. And I would like to benefit and reap the benefits from a tax system that works and a justice system that works. And if it's not working and it's flawed and it's causing me to be in a tent, for a full year, I would like to use that experience, as I have been, for documentation purposes so that people who are more intelligent, who are more resourceful, can step in and hear what I'm saying and kind of, offer some assistance and some A&A, so to speak. Everything, as everyone working creatively and everyone who follows this page is a supporter. The people who say things in the comments are eligible for RICO charges for slander and libel, as well as harassment. On top of that, national domestic terrorism, 4 years of following someone after they have blocked numerous of your accounts, that does qualify for harassment charges. So if you are an influencer, if you are a model, if you are in entertainment, if you have any following of any kind, use it to your ability. Begin picking products that you know will work for you. Endorse those products, run ads on those products, and bank off of those products. Switch the product as soon as it stops making money. If you come across a product that does not work and you accidentally endorsed it, go back to your followers. Take back your endorsement. Tell them, dude, this was good for the first 3 weeks. It broke week 4. I paid way too much money for it. Don't buy it, you guys. I take it back. And connect with your followers in a way that is real and that is valid and that is authentic. I love you guys so much. Have a great day. What's up, you guys? It's Heather Gillespie, Coco GoPro Solo's very own.